Now, the United States cutting short Gaza ceasefire talks and bringing home its negotiating team from Qatar. The U.S. envoy Witkoff termed Hamas's approach a lack of desire to reach a ceasefire. Witkoff blamed Hamas for the ceasefire failure and said Washington, D.C. would now consider alternative options. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that his government was still seeking a ceasefire despite recalling its negotiators from Doha. He accused Hamas of blocking an agreement and added that Hamas should not view Israel's willingness to reach a truce deal in Gaza as a weakness.
We are working to get another deal to release our hostages. But if Hamas perceives our willingness to reach a deal as a weakness, as an opportunity to dictate lines of defeat that will endanger Israel, it is greatly mistaken.
On the ground in Gaza, the situation shows signs of worsening by the hour under a continued Israeli blockade. The death toll due to starvation is up to 113. The UN Humanitarian Office said that at least 13 children's deaths were reported in July, with the number growing daily. The head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, has warned that when child nutrition surges, coping mechanisms fail, access to food and care disappears, and famine silently begins to unfold.
The child is suffering from lack of food and drink. There is no food, nothing to drink. Everything is so expensive. As you can see, the flour is expensive. Even the water. We spend 2 or 3 hours filling up one bucket.
In greater numbers than ever, children swallowed up by hunger are overwhelming the Patients Friends Hospital, the main emergency center for malnourished kids in northern Gaza. The worst cases are kept up for 2 weeks at the center's 10-bed ward, which this month has had up to 19 children at a time. 5 deaths last weekend also marked the first seen by the center in children who had no pre-existing conditions. Not just children, starvation horrors extend to pregnant mothers and the entire population. Doctors warn the worst may be yet to come.
Today we are talking about 150 cases in 1 week of pregnant and lactating mothers who are exhausted and unable to breastfeed, and baby formula is at exorbitant prices. They can't produce milk. The pregnant women are malnourished and result in malnourished babies, so instead of 1, we have 2 cases.
The situation in Gaza has given rise to protests worldwide against Israel's stance. Within Israel, too, there have been calls for the government to take measures to ease the suffering of the people in the enclave. On Thursday, Israeli police dispersed and arrested activists in Haifa city protesting against the war in Gaza. Similar protests have been held in Tel Aviv, but with peace hopes having fallen through again, relief for the people who need it remains as distant as ever. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.